So the question, of course, is, are achhe din for the Indian economy finally here? Investors' wealth is surged to 6.59 lakh crores as markets have soared to a record high, Radhika. And also crude oil prices are down. But the big question on everyone's mind is, crude oil prices are down. Does that essentially mean that our petrol and diesel bills will go down?
Well, that's the big question. In fact, a revision in domestic petrol and diesel rates is likely only if lower rates are sustained. In fact, this is what the industry sources and officials are telling us. Inflation also down to a 5-year low. Retail inflation in August inched up to 3.65%, though vegetables and pulses witnessed price rise in double digits. This is what the official data is, in fact, telling us. Let's go to Sanchita Mukherjee, who's the senior finance professional, also business economist, as far as this, entire the inflation issue is concerned. In fact, ma'am, my questions is retail inflation in August rose slightly, now yet remains below RBI's median target of 4%. So what factors are contributing to this current inflationary trend, and how sustainable is this inflation rate given the recent increase in prices of vegetables and pulses?
Thank you so much for having me here. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. So to address your question very directly, our inflation is actually low comparative to global numbers, right? I mean, during the times of the pandemic, the COVID, a lot of the developed markets, developed economies, they printed a lot of currency, which led to a lot of asset price inflation, which they're struggling with in today's date in terms of high interest rates. In India, we followed a different norm in which a lot of the pandemic issues were addressed with a lot of lending, a lot of food grain surpluses being distributed to the lowest common strata, and all of that. So we did not really effectively deal with that much of inflation. Our inflation is usually imported. When I say imported, it is contingent to the oil prices. So with the oil prices having come down substantially globally, inflation in Indian economy has also had a good footprint in terms of coming down in the recent years. The only point of worry, which has been the worry with the central bank, with authorities, is the food inflation, which is very erratic because of the erratic monsoon and the climate change impact which has been happening on our economy. I mean, there was a severe heat wave. Then year on year, we see monsoons are very, very disproportionate. In some places, they're very, very, very much in surplus. And in some places, there's a drought-like situation. So food prices do get affected with the vagaries of the nature. And that leads to inflation being unpredictable on the food footprint. Otherwise, it's very, very oil contingent and it's very much under control.